Good morning and welcome to the news. I am David Opokwasile. On the news this morning, Anambra State Government Revivals Industries Limited signed MOU to recycle waste materials in the state. Bishop Ibezim asks President Buhari to quickly address security challenges in the country. Senate passes bill recognizing June 12 as New Democracy Day, 1 year after President Buhari's declaration. Euro police intercepts international cybercrime group that stole $100 million from 41,000 victims. The Anambra State government has signed a memorandum of understanding with Revivals Industries Limited to enhance the state waste management system. The MOU, which has a total value of $1.1 million, was signed by Governor Willie Obiano on behalf of the state government, while the CEO, Chief Emeka Ajeku of Revivals, signed on behalf of the company. Government House correspondent Ejika Banafard reports from the Governor's Lodge, Anambra. Take it from here. The sharing formula for the profits is 75% for the company, 22% for state, and 3% for the host community. The company is being engaged to construct facilities for the recycling of plastics and other waste materials. According to Governor Obiano, the project is important for a better ecosystem and health well-being of residents in the state. The governor, who lamented the level of plastic materials being littered across the state, especially after rainfall, directed immediate provision of 2 marked bins that will contain recyclable items and ordinary waste separately, saying that in another 2 years, plastic waste will be eliminated in the streets of Anambra.
The area he's gone into is a very important area in the ecosystem balance of the state. Mixing plastic waste with other types of waste is not helping because plastic waste will not decay. So I'm very delighted that Emeka has gone into this area.
Earlier, the managing director of Anambra Investment Promotion and Protection Agency, Mr. Jide Ikako, hinted that the company had already started operations in Obunike without an MOU, pointing out that they have the capacity to provide 40 metric tons of waste as at today, as they are helping to address the litter problem erosion challenge.
As of today, Revivals on the average recycles 40 metric tons of plastic a month. It's important to understand that a lot of the litter that ends up in our roads ends up in our waterways, blocking drainages and exacerbating the problem of erosion.
The managing director of Revivals Industries Limited, Chief Emeka Ajeku, said that their drive is an innovative way of solving waste management, saying that they met an inefficient waste management system in the state when they arrived the state in 2016, stressing that they target to convert Obunike as a waste recycling hub.
We have established an entrepreneurship program where we give participants cash to purchase plastic waste from other pickers and scavengers, and also add value to the waste collected by carrying out prelim sorting of the waste.
The Commissioner for Environment, Architect Michael Okonkwo, said that the move is a big solution to the waste management program in the state, saying that the move will address the issues of scavengers who ravage the dump site, causing harm to themselves. The formal signing of the MOU was the high point of the event. The newly appointed Vice-Chancellor of Anambra University, Oka, Professor Charles Esimone, will mount the saddle from the 4th of June 2019, the authorities of the university have said. The Director of Information and Public Relations, UNIZIC, Dr. Imo Jupu, who announced this in a media briefing, said the appointment letter signed by the chairman of the school's governing council, Haji Aziz Alodotun Bello, was released on the 13th of May 2019. Correspondent Ngozo Bileri was at the briefing and now reports.
Charles Esimone, a native of Akweze in another local government area, was born on the 31st of December 1970. Dr. Ojukwu explained that he emerged third out of the 38 candidates that contested for the post, out of which 7 were invited for final screening that produced Professor Esimone. He expressed optimism that the new Vice-Chancellor will consolidate on the achievements of the outgoing Vice-Chancellor, Professor Joseph Ahaneku, whom he said did marvelously well in the growth and development of the institution.
I want to formally introduce our new Vice Chancellor to you and to ask for your support in the months and years ahead. He is going to assume office June the 4th, that he will build on the many successes of the current Vice Chancellor, Professor Ahaneko.
Dr. Ojukwu also described Professor Simone as a God-fearing man and a good-hearted individual who will take the school to the next level. In Oka, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
The Anglican Bishop of Oka Diocese, Right Reverend Alexander Bezim, has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to urgently address the wanton killings, kidnappings, and economic difficulties in the country so as to save Nigeria from disintegration. Bishop Bezim stated this while delivering his charge at the third session of the 11th Synod of the Diocese, which held at St. Jude's Church, Adaziane, with the theme, "The Victory That Has Overcome the World, Even Our Faith." Amaka Chibuzo Koe was there and now brings the report.
Of the Synod and Bishop of Oka Diocese, Right Reverend Ibezim, said that more than 100 years after the birth of modern Nigeria, the level of bloodshed in Nigeria, insecurity of lives and properties, killings, kidnappings, assassination and hunger are disheartening, and therefore called on President Buhari to bring the country together in order to create free federalism where everyone will truly participate and work towards national growth. Bishop Ibezim commended Governor Willie Obiano for the areas he has touched lives, especially in regular payments of workers' salaries and security of lives and property, reminding the governor to tighten the security architecture of the state while assuring him of the church support and fervent prayers for his administration.
Despite the challenges we are facing today, we strongly appeal to Nigerians to be very positive, to be very prayerful about our nation. It's only through this way that citizens can develop the right attitude that supports national development.
In his goodwill message, the new Dean, Church of Nigeria and Archbishop of Kaduna Province, Most Reverend Buba Lamido, said the Synod speaks volumes of the efforts of Bishop Ibezim on evangelism, which manifested in attracting over 60 bishops across the country during the Synod. Others who spoke at the event were the Archbishop of Bendel and Bishop of Eastern Diocese, Most Reverend Friday Imaikai, and the Bishop of Ihiala Diocese, Right Reverend Professor Israel Okoye, who said that the Synod reminds the Church of the redemption that comes through Christ.
This is a very apt and relevant theme at this point in time in the complex society that we live in Nigeria, particularly globally, is very relevant to the extent that a man is now beset with meaninglessness, right? Scarcity, manifesting poverty, as well as powerlessness. There are so many things believers are not powerful about.
Well, we've been called into this dispensation, a life in Jesus, because Christ came demonstrating God's love for the world, and Christ overcame. And because we are Christ, we've been made overcomers, if we are in Christ and remain in Christ. So this synod reminds us of who we are. People who have been redeemed by the blood of Christ. People who live in Christ. And if we live in Christ, we'll overcome the world.
The president of the Synod later pronounced Reverend Canons Christian Chinwuko, Rev. Carlo Goodness Amechi, and Nehemiah Ugago as archdeacons, while Reverend Sam Ezunu, Bonnie Ogaraku, Nnamdi Ajoku, Ndubisi Ahanonu, and Tim Okuchineke were pronounced canons. Among the dignitaries at the Synod were Commissioner for Agriculture, Mechanization and Processing, Mr. Afam Mbanefu, the member-elect, Oka North and South Federal Constituency, Engineer Chinedu Onwaso, and hosts of others. From Adaziane, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
The traditional ruler of our law in Idemili South local government area, Igwe Makanthony Okonkwo, says peace and unity are essential for community development. Igwe Okonkwo stated this at his palace while celebrating the triple event of the reception for the victorious bronze medalist from St. John's Science and Technical College, Alo, who emerged third in the International Festival of Engineering, Science and Technology IFEST contest held in Tunisia, the inauguration of the new caretaker committee of Alo People's Convention, and the celebration of the upgrading of the primary healthcare center Alo to a general hospital by Governor Willie Obiano. We'll have details.
The events commenced with the royal reception for the bronze medalists, namely Messrs. Mishak Ugwishi, Onyedika Chukwumora, Daniel Nwachukwu, and Dominic Machi, led by their school principal, Reverend Father Dr. Francis Unebu, at the palace of Igwe Okonkwo. Igwe Okonkwo expressed delight with the honor brought to Alo by the students and promised to intensify his support for the education of the youths in his kingdom, in line with Governor Willie Obiano's massive investment in education in Anambra State.
Continue to support the development of education in all levels in my kingdom, Alo. In this way, we will be supporting the very noble effort of our amiable governor, Chief Doctor Willie Madabrochukwu Obiano.
While intimating Igwe Okonkwo of the processes that led to their victory at Tunisia, the principal of the college, Reverend Father Unebu, said the International Festival of Engineering, Science and Technology IFEST is a global competition for youths of 11 to 24 years to invent an innovative teacher-supervised project, and their solar technology for sub-Saharan Africa earned them the third position among 31 countries that participated, pointing out that the appreciation and reception of the students by Igwe Okonkwo is a manifestation of his deep concern for education.
But the fact that time, okusikwazi ụdị mmadụ ịbụ ụdị echiche ị na-eche maka na ihe a bụ echiche na-eru ala.
The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Youth Development, Honorable Osita Onuko, and Caretaker Committee Chairman of Alo People's Convention, Honorable Oke Elosioba, congratulated the bronze medalists for bringing honor to Anambra State and assured them of more support to achieve more laurels. Meanwhile, the official inauguration of the new Caretaker Committee of Alo People's Convention, appointed by Governor Willie Obiano to man the affairs of Alo community, was also performed at Obialo, as conducted by the legal advisor of the Igwe in Council, Barrister Ephraim Agobalo, witnessed by the traditional ruler of the town and members of the Igwe in Council.
We will bring the town to the fore as it used to be. We've been trying. We've achieved, let me confess, we've achieved 80% success.
The royal father of Alo, with the new caretaker committee and Igwe in Council, proceeded to inspect the Alo Primary Health Center, which has been upgraded to a general hospital by the state government for an enhanced healthcare delivery for the people of Alo and environs. From Alo, in Idemilisa local government area, Njide Ezonyejak reporting for ABS News.
It is that time of the year when the aroma of roasted corn and pear rent the air, especially in the evenings, dragging everyone to the corner where the aroma is coming from. Our correspondent, Ngozi Obileri, captured the mood of the patronizers of the corn vendors at Amobe Junction by the Express and now reports.
At this time that people are seen every evening clustering around the corn vendors, either to eat it fresh from the local oven made with charcoal or to while away time in form of relaxation. Activities are now building up at Amobia bypass axis of Enugu-Onitsha Express Road, known for roasted corn and pear by this time of the year, as the vendors have started taking positions, while those who look forward to this time of the year wasted no time in patronizing them. Some of those who spoke to the ABS, Mr. Uzo Nzeribe, said roasted corn and pear are his favorite delicacies.
I look forward to this period because I love eating corn with ube. You guys call it ube, isn't it? Yeah, I love eating corn and ube, and I would always look forward to the season.
A Yoruba indigene who is based in Onitsha and others said corn is a tropical produce that is savored by many, as he said that it can serve as a complete meal when combined with fruits like pear and coconut. ABS gathered that the vendors source the fresh corn from Delta and Edo states, often referred to as Ndi Bendel, whom they explained normally have their maize planted very early in the year.
Part of our tropical food, and it's not only that you take it in a snacky way, but it's also a full meal.
O the guy chevelia. Ele mgbe na adu anyị ọ na-adu ọgala. Anyị na Nigeria anya. And in gas press ya mara mo nwere ibe tinye iche. Adacha aga adara nke ọka ebidoro. Nke ama ọbịa. A na-esi ebe mee package mee wee bill. Ndị Lagos na-akpọ m ebidogo. Ndị Abuja ndị obodo oyibo. Onye bụ ọsị ọka express ọka dụkwa. So anyị na-echetu echeto.
From Amobia Bypass, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Senate passes bill recognizing June 12 as New Democracy Day, 1 year after President Buhari's declaration. Europolice intercepts international cybercrime group that stole $100 million from 41,000 victims. The Senate has passed the Public Holiday Act Amendment Bill to recognize June 12 as the New Democracy Day. The bill was passed almost 1 year after President Buhari announced that the date would replace May 29 for Nigerians to commemorate the return to civilian government. While some members of the National Assembly had criticized the president that Democracy Day cannot be changed by just a declaration, others commended his decision. President Buhari's declaration was later approved in the Senate by an act of parliament after the lawmakers considered the bill seeking to amend the Public Holiday Act yesterday. The bill, which is in concurrence with that of the House of Representatives, will now be forwarded to the President for assent. The federal government has said that it has recovered about 605 billion naira through the implementation of the whistleblower policy. The Minister of Finance, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, gave the figure during a media briefing on the activities of the ministry. The whistleblower policy, which was inaugurated in December 2016, was aimed at addressing the issues of corruption in the management of government resources. The event, which was held at the headquarters of the Ministry of Finance, was attended by other heads of agencies under the Ministry of Finance. The Finance Minister described the whistleblower policy as a huge success, adding that the 605 billion naira so far recovered was an improvement over the amount previously recorded. An international cybercrime network which used malware to steal estimated $100 million from thousands of victims has been dismantled, the Europolice announced yesterday. The criminal network used ghostname malware to target businesses and financial institutions and capture online banking login credentials. They then stole money from more than 41,000 victims' bank accounts and laundered the cash using U.S. and foreign beneficiary bank accounts. 10 members of the network have been charged with conspiracy to steal credentials to fraudulently access bank accounts by a federal grand jury in Petersburg, U.S. 5 of them, Russian nationals, remain on the run, including the developer of the malware. The defendants were allegedly recruited after advertising their specialized technical skills and services on underground Russian-speaking online criminal forums. The operation against the network was launched in November 2016 by a German-led investigation to dismantle its server and infrastructure. Since then, searches were also conducted in Bulgaria, Georgia, Moldova, and Ukraine. And in sports, Bayern Munich coach Niko Kovac has hinted that departing veterans Arjen Robben and Frank Ribery will not be in the starting 11 for their final Bundesliga appearance against Eintracht Frankfurt tomorrow. Bayern needs to avoid defeat against Frankfurt if they are to secure a 7th successive Bundesliga title, and Kovac suggested yesterday that pragmatism may come before sentimentality when it comes to Robben and Ribery. At a press conference on Tuesday, Robben had voiced his hope of making one final start for Bayern at the Allianz Arena and joked that he would score 2 goals if he played 90 minutes. The Bayern coach said he had already spoken to both Robben and Ribery about their roles tomorrow, but refused to confirm whether they would be in the starting lineup. Kovac confirmed that James Rodriguez would be unavailable against Frankfurt and said Thiago and Joshua Kimmich hope to return to full fitness in time of play. Goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, who has been out with a calf injury since April, is also expected to miss out. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV Online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Before we go, the main points again. Anambra State Government, Revivals Industries Limited have signed MOU to recycle waste materials in the state. Bishop Ibezimas asked President Muhammad Buhari to quickly address security challenges in the country. We also told you that Senate has passed bill recognizing June 12 as New Democracy Day, 1 year after President Buhari's declaration. Europolice has intercepted an international cybercrime group that stole $100 million from 41,000 victims across the world. And that is the news this morning. I am David Okwasale. The Good Morning Anambra continues right after now. Stay with us.